As a leader, you have to have the ability to communicate. So should this interest anybody? Everyone alive is a leader. And welcome to signpositive.com. What is the number one most important skill as a leader, for a leader? I wrote a blog post called Stories the other day, and it was talking about great leaders tell great stories, effective leaders tell great stories. And I got to thinking, what is the number one most important thing that a leader does? Is it charisma? Is it vision? Is it mastery? Are they, what is it? They build foundations in people. What's the number one most important thing? And while all those are very important, what I figured out, or what I think is probably the number one most important thing that you can do as a leader, the most important skill that you can have to be a very effective leader, is the ability to communicate. Communication is absolutely key, and communication is more than the transmission of words and ideas. Knee-jerk reaction as to what the definition of communication is. It's actually verbally communicating. Well, that's not necessarily all there is to communication. Communication, in the biblical sense, means to give. So you communicate to someone, you actually give to someone. So if you take that and you wrap that into words and ideas, and how can you give words and ideas to someone? Well, you first off have to be empathetic to that person, and you have to listen, and then you have to give where they have a need. Powerful to have the ability to communicate effectively. As a leader, you have to have the ability to communicate. So should this interest anybody? Everyone alive is a leader. I think we probably let that slide a lot of times. We think, no, this person is a leader. The pastor's a leader. The president's the leader. The supervisor is the leader. But bottom line is, man, we're all leaders. If you're a sister or a brother or a mother or a dad, if you're a spouse, if you're a friend, you're a leader. You're a leader. And you need to know how to communicate effectively. That is absolutely the most important thing that you can do as a leader, is to listen, empathize, and then give of yourself with words and ideas and thoughts. A lot of times it's just listening, but giving of yourself, your thoughts and ideas from empathy is absolutely the greatest thing that you can do. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that we have such problems in our country right now, is that the leadership failure is not just at the highest level. The leadership failure comes all the way down to home. So as parents, we must be communicators and leaders for our children. Got a cool story. My buddy Albert called me up a couple of days ago, congratulating me, telling me, hey man, I'm glad you started the podcast or vlog thing. And he was telling me about, we got to discuss, and I hadn't talked to him maybe in 3-4 years. And we got to talking about our families and what we were doing. And hopefully we'll get a chance to collaborate, have him on the podcast or the show. And we'll get a chance to do some, discuss some topics and record that for everyone to see. But anyway, Albert was telling me about his oldest son was in a management training program. And one of the senior employees at the company where he's doing the training had called Albert, like unbeknownst to his son, and told him what a wonderful young man he was and what a great job that he had done and how respectable that he was and what a hard worker he was. And Albert was just like, man, like that's what I'm talking about. Albert's leading in his house. Albert's leading for his kids. Him and Sheila both invest time and money and love and a swift kick in the shorts if necessary. But they led their children, giving them something to believe in. They kept telling them, hey, you're going to be somebody. You're going to be able to make it. Not only we expect you to be great, and you can be great, but that you will be great. Communication. The most effective leaders open doors. The most effective leaders have charisma. They're visionaries. They build foundation in others. They tell great stories. But the most effective leaders, they start at home. The most effective leaders communicate to their children. And my friend, that can change the world. I never know how to start working this stuff in with the whole like, subscribe, ring the bell, but please do. Thanks. Have a good one.